Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Joseph Larcinese, who will fight on Eternal MMA 90 November 29th. Hello, Joseph. How are you?
Good. How's it going, man?
Thank you for taking the invitation, and I think that it will be a very interesting fight on the Eternal MMA because the two really good flyweight prospects will meet, and on topology you are quite high on the ranking of the flyweights in this part of the world. So if you can tell me, how do you feel a few weeks to this fight?
I think it's like 7, 8 weeks. Yeah, this camp I've been doing a while because I'm actually fighting with my brother. He's fighting a couple of weeks before me. So this is the first time that we're doing a fight together. So his intensity in this camp is just really high. So he's pushing me. In terms of like Odin, he's got good momentum right now. He's only a 1-0 professional fighter.
And
So,
I think that overall the level of competition it's rising for you because it was Troy Fumo, the first professional opponent, then Zach Gregson, and I think that it is like going to the good direction that we are fighting the best fighters possible, and after this fight you may get even a bigger name, and who knows, maybe soon you will fight for the promotional title.
yeah, so I called out like high record fighters after my last fight against Zach because I wanted to push for that belt. But I didn't get any of them. I got offered Odin. I mean, Odin's a tough fight, but he's only got like a 1-0 record. So I don't know how much this fight's going to do for me. But I just know with all his hype that he's coming like with all these knockouts, 3 knockouts in a row, uh, like if I can take his hype, like my next fight, I should be getting like a shot for the belt. Like I deserve it. Like I have 4-fight win streak as an amateur. I'm 2-0 as a professional, 2 finishes. I'm a 3-fight finish like streak right now. If I win one more, I'll be 4 fights in a row like finishes. And like I don't know, I feel like I'm not getting a bit of the respect I deserve. Like I'm a bit of a dark horse in division. So like I need to put on a big statement and finish Odin, take all his hype, and get my title shot. So yeah,
And
that was
actually,
for the first question. I screwed up. I was just a bit nervous, but yeah, yeah.
the flyweight champion of Eternal MMA will fight in the Contender Series. So it's like showing that it's very good place to be to have this title because you will get the bigger opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Like we finally get to see like the two top flyweights fight each other because man, they've been supposed to be fighting each other for the last like year, 2 years. They've been trying to make that matchup. So we'll finally get to see who's the best guy. Whoever loses might come back. Maybe I have to fight one of them. Like if Drulich comes back, if he loses, then like I don't want Drulich to take my spot for the title. So like I might have to fight Drulich. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. Like I'm watching that fight. I'm keen to see like who's the better fighter. I think it'll be a good fight.
And you mentioned your brother, and how like good and or interesting is to train in the same moment for the fight in the like similar time to him when you want to peak in the like few weeks span, let's say.
Yeah, so like it's a bit weird because I think he's like 3 or 4 weeks before me, but he's like one of my main training partners. So the camp structured the main part of my camp is the structured when his fight like starts, just because like, he might like have a tough fight, be too sore. So I've been doing like it's been a bit of a long camp. So like his intensity is like really good. We'll finish at his fight and then I'll get to like rest a bit. So like in terms of like recovery, I think this fight I'll come in a lot better than I came in my last fight. Because my last fight was a bit of a crazy like camp. We pushed like too hard in that one. So this might be a good change, you know what I mean?
But actually, in your last fight, what I like that the late submission, because usually in the first round is like not many finishes. It's usually first in the first or second round, and if you can finish opponent in the first round, it means that you are dangerous in like any time, in any minute, any second. So I think that it was impressive. Of course, the first round finish is always good thing, but the third one is quite. Not super common thing, and I think that it showed your cardio and the finishing ability at all times.
Well, I mean, in that fight, my first punch I landed on him was a knockdown, and he somehow like woke up after it. So I was banking, like I really wanted to finish like in the first round because then I would have been on like a first round finish like streak. But man, Zach just came in. Zach surprised me. I'll say the least. Like he surprised me. Like we expected what he like did in the fight, but he upskilled a lot for this fight. And yeah, it was a tough fight. That was a tough fight for me. Yeah.
And right now, as the pro, you have 2 submissions, and like the submission game is the I think that the like really good part of your game. But overall, did you start with like your combat sport journey with grappling competition, like from the BJJ or wrestling?
Yeah, I was more like just like a jiu-jitsu hobbyist. So like I trained jiu-jitsu like 2, 3 years. Like I was studying at uni. Like I finished my degree and I just I didn't see a future down that line for me. I didn't like just wasn't for me. So I just took like the leap of faith, said to my brother, hey, like he's keen about fighting. Like I'm a bit old at the time, so I was like, I might not even make it far, but I said, like, let's train together and maybe we can get him in the UFC. So like I was never even like it wasn't even about me when we started. It was just about getting my younger brother to like if he got to UFC, I mean I like, got to the UFC. So I started off as like a jiu-jitsu guy, but like we just learned like striking in the backyard. I joined Eagle MMA and then like I had a fight within like I think 3 or 4 weeks. Like we did a bit of striking there, but like the game plan was just to grapple. And I just been learning striking like every fight. So like all my fights is just striking progression. Yeah, I mean I'm still learning and I'm like a professional. So yeah. So I'm a grappler. But you gotta watch out these hands though. I hit hard.
And the beginning, were you a little bit stressed that maybe if you are a very good grappler, but the striking part maybe like harder to learn, or did you like catch up the things in the training quite quickly, and you were quite quickly also comfortable on your feet?
Yeah, I mean like me and my brother, like we train like so much. So we knew striking's a lot easier to learn than grappling. Do you know what I mean? Like there's only a couple like you got like 2 hands, like 2 legs. You can only throw 6 different punches and a couple of kicks. So like we just drilled the shit out of it. We did heaps of pads. Like our coaches like showed us, like taught us heaps of stuff. We knuckled down like every fight camp, like learn how to do a different skill set for a fight and just tried to implement like striking. Like can I learn like a new striking thing for a fight? So that's like been my progression, and we've picked up pretty fast. Like, man, I feel really confident on my feet coming into this fight. I think like some people think like I'm a bit of a grappler, but I don't know, man. Like I'd say I'm more like an MMA fighter now instead of just like a grappler. So I've learned quite fast with it all.
And maybe if the like initial plan was to for your brother to be in the UFC, maybe right now the plan is for you both to be in the UFC and fighting on the one of the cards in Australia or even Las Vegas.
Well, like now we always like joke. It's like okay, like if I can make it to the UFC, it means he can be a bit better than me. Like he'll be a ranked fighter. You know what I mean? So if I can be a ranked fighter, it means like he might eventually fight for a belt. So he's always like pushing me. He's like teaching me stuff. Like he picks up a lot faster than me. So yeah, just sticking to the same plan. If I can get further, it means he'll get further than me.
And what is the main gym that right now you are training in?
Eagle MMA in like Bondi. So the head coach is Igor Propot and Igor Breakenback. Yeah, we have also Josh Gulabaz as a UFC fighter. He trains at our gym. And we've had a couple like UFC fighters come through our gyms as well. So yeah. It's a good
And
gym, very small gym, but small like it's not like one of those the American ones you see like very big, heaps of people. It's more like kind of like a club. Eagle likes to call it a club. So yeah, that's our gym. It's
but
a club.
Joshua Kulibao is really known for like always delivering the good action fights. So it's probably really cool to train on the regular basis with the fighter who is in the UFC and who is on the really high level.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to train with him. He's a bit big for me. Like he gets pretty big out of camp. Like a flyweight to a featherweight, it's only two weight classes, but there's a big difference. You know what I mean? It's like the bantamweights and flyweights should stay together. He's a bit big, so I try to keep up with him, but man, he'll just put it on me. You know what I mean? I'm getting good at grappling against him though. That's for sure. I try to push him in the grappling. But yeah, it's good to train with him.
And do you have in your gym any prospects like you, maybe pro fighter, maybe amateur fighters that maybe right now they are not super really known, but you can see that the big future in them?
Yeah, so I mean, my like the main three guys that I'll train with, that's like close to my weight. My brother got Perry. He just won the Australian title. He's a bantamweight, so he'll probably move up to professional very soon. I don't know what his plans are right now. And you got Shy Crimo Tat. He's actually fighting on my card, on my undercard. So like, yeah, he's underneath me. Sorry, yeah. He's underneath, but he's on my card. He's a featherweight. He's quite long, so he gives me all my long opponents. Like I use Shy. He's like really good training partner. Yeah.
And I saw on your Instagram that you are quite active on the like grappling scene. And what belt are you in BJJ?
So in the gi, I'm like a blue belt, but like I've competed like up to black, like purple, brown, black. Like I'll compete like any division, but I'm probably more of like a purple belt. You know what I mean? I don't know. Grappling's all the same, man. Like you get to a certain level and you can just like grapple anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like this guy might be a black belt, but like, all right, black belt, cool. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes, especially that it changed, and like even many years ago, John Jones was at that time white belt in like BJJ submitted a few black belts like Vitor Belfort, Lyoto Machida. So it's like belts are important, but in MMA there is like other things to be worried about.
Yeah, I mean, like if what I like to say, like whoever's the better competitor will win the fight. You know what I mean? You can be a high belt, but if you can't compete in the moment, then like you look at John Jones, like he can compete, so he's going to be subbing all these guys at like a high belts. Like it's no disrespect. Like to earn a belt, you need to like learn everything. But in terms of like applying it in like combat, like you have to be an actual competitor to pull it off. So I think I'm a really good competitor, and that's why I have like some success with my grappling in the like comps and in fights. Yeah.
And for this fight, in the perfect scenario, do you want to like in a like yes, a perfect scenario? Would you like to submit your opponent, or maybe look for the knockout?
This fight, let me tell you, this fight, I'm either getting knocked out by Odin, or I'm gonna knock him out, or maybe get a sub, depending if he gives me his neck. My best advice to Odin is to just watch his neck. If he makes that available, I'll choke him straight away. But I'm coming for the finish. I want to put a statement. I want to take Odin's hype. I deserve his hype. And to be frank, like I find Odin a little bit disrespectful because after he knocks his opponents out, he stands over them, does like I don't know, he does like bow and arrow, like shoots them and stuff. And I feel like, you just knocked the guy out, just celebrate, don't have to do all that stuff. So I'm looking to not get disrespected by Odin, but I'm to take all his hype, so I want to like finish him. I want to knock him out. I want to knock out the knockout artist. So yeah. We'll see what happens. See what happens. But this fight's not going the distance, that's for sure. It's a flyweight fight that won't go the distance.
And we can see that you have this overall finishing ability, and sometimes the flyweights have a lot of decisions, which is like reasonable thing, let's say, because these fighters are a little bit smaller, but you are this kind of fighter that even the first round submission, it means that you are dangerous in every second. So who knows, maybe like vicious knockout will take place.
No, it will be a good fight. I mean, the flyweights get a bad rep, man. Some of us can finish. I mean, I'm trying to bring that hype to this division. It's a very boring division. Like a lot of people sleep on it. But like my fights, like I go for the finish. I don't aim for decisions. From the bell, I'll try to finish it every round. As simple as that.
And in last few years, the like part of the world with Australia, with New Zealand, made a lot of noise in the world of MMA because Israel Adesanya, because of Robert Whittaker, and a lot of other fighters. But who is your favorite Australian fighter, or from the New Zealand, from this part of the world? Do you have this one name that when he's fighting, you know that you have to watch him and see the result?
I have to say Josh. If I don't say Josh, I mean he's gonna kill me. But I like Whittaker. I like his walkout, his intensity. Do you know what I mean? I'm about like I like the guys that like they bring the fight, in my opinion. Whittaker, he has like that intensity. He'll bring the fight. Yeah, I'm excited always when I see Whittaker. Yeah, I don't know why. Just excited all the time to watch him fight. And Volk as well. I like Volk, but a little bit more Whittaker. Yeah.
Yes, and what is crazy that Robert Whittaker became like interim champion in 2017, and right now 2024, 7 years later, and he's still the fighter who there is a big chance that he will be a champion one more time.
Well, like you saw, like I think it was there was one fight. It was against Paulo Costa. He didn't like how he fought because he was too like respected the fight too much. Like he respected his power. Was it Paulo or someone else? There was one fight like he disrespected the guy too much, and he like changed it up. In his like last two fights, yeah, it was Duplessis. He fought Duplessis and lost to him, but he respected like Duplessis' power too much. And he swapped it up, and he just like started bringing the fight to the guys. And I think that's what made him like a champion throughout like that period. And he like lost it because like, these guys they get a bit comfortable. You know what I mean? Like at the top, like all the technique, he's doing everything right, but like he brought that energy back, and like that's what I like. That's why I like watching him. Especially now, I'm excited to see how his next fight goes. Like Khamzat, when he fights Khamzat, I want to see if he brings that like crazy energy. So yeah, it'll be cool to see.
And do you think that he will win this one?
Yeah, he should win. I don't see Khamzat out grappling him like too much. Like he'll get taken down. Like you have to expect to get taken down by someone like Khamzat, but I think like Rob's too seasoned, and he knows how to fight like a 5-round fight. That you know he'll win. He should finish him. Yeah, he should finish him.
Yes,
Yeah.
but definitely it will be a very good fight with two contrasting styles.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be good. It's in Abu Dhabi, isn't it? They're doing it again.
Yes.
Yeah. And it sucks for him. He has to go back there again. He should have got the title shot after that. Yeah.
And getting back to you, because right now you are 2-0. Quite quickly you can be 3-0. And when you are thinking about your near future in the next like 2 or 3 years, do you see yourself in that time being a UFC fighter, maybe fighting against ranked fighters, or do you see yourself in other position, maybe in other promotion, because the flyweights are have their places in like promotions like One or Ryzen?
Nice. I definitely see myself like heading towards the UFC. I understand that you have to bring a fight to put like an entertaining fight for the UFC. Like they want the guys that go for the finish. They don't want like more point style fighters. So like I think I bring that energy, and I'll be like a good person for the flyweight roster. But you know, I have to win my fights. Like it's all talk now as a 2-0 guy. But I could lose my fight, and then I have to like win a couple again. You know what I mean? I could lose So like, it's all good like to talk about, but I'm definitely aiming for the UFC. I mean, like if I win maybe like 3 or 4 more fights and I'm finishing people, like I expect to get a call up, either Dana White Contender Series or like an immediate contract. But I got to put on the show. I got to like put on those finishes. Like that's how important it is. So yeah, I expect it. It should come.
And do you have a fighter in mind from the UFC that you would like to face? Maybe this fight will not gonna happen, but if you can pick one fighter to fight, do you have this one name?
To fight, I mean, I don't know. I always said I would have. I always said I wanted to fight Makaib Muhammad when he was in the UFC, but now he's not in the UFC. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think too much like that far. Yeah, I mean, I gotta fight Odin, man. Like Odin's the killer. Like this guy's 3 knockouts in a row. Like you can't take this guy lightly. But yeah, yeah. I got Odin, man. I got Odin. Can't think UFC right now.
Yes, yes. The most important fight is the one ahead of you.
Yeah, yeah.
And about like overall your life, if when you are thinking about like other possibilities, if you weren't a MMA fighter, who do you think would you be as the professional?
Like I was supposed to be a pharmacist. Like I finished my uni degree. Like I could have easily done that if I just did my internship when it was all done. But I think I would do something more like arty in the sense like designing things, like either graphic design or computer-based design. Try to sell some products or freelance work. I try to focus a lot on art and like computer stuff. So I think I like that stuff. Yeah. I don't know, man. This is the thing. I started fighting as well because doing a regular job is for me can be too boring. Like I need like a high stress situation because I'll just get bored in like 2 3 months again, and I'll need like, all right, I'm ready for like another like crazy camp or like a crazy fight. So like it's tough. Like I don't know. I'd have to do a job and do something else along the like extra. Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably graphic stuff. Yeah.
And of course the MMA is the sport that you are not that you are not ever bored because of the next challenge, next opponent, and when you have let's say that your previous fighters that you know the names that you will be fighting them, did you study their styles or try to watch any of the videos, or you prefer to leave this part to your coaches?
No, I mean my coach Igor, he watches like so much tape on them. Like he's a very like analysis based guy. Like he'll study them, and then I watch it with him, and I also watch it heaps with my brother, and my brother will just analyze it, and he'll basically him and Igor will give me like a game plan. Like I listen so much to my brother, even though he's only having his second amateur fight. Like he'll tell me, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that, and then he's in the gym like just emulating the guy. He'll just do everything the guy does and give me the exact look how we think all the guys I've fought have fought. So we definitely study everyone. I don't just go in there trying to like swing at people. Like I might sound like I do, but we study a lot. You know, we approach a smart game plan, but we come to fight. With a game, there's a game plan, but then there's a time to just fight the guy. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we do. We have a game plan, but then they just go fight him. Throw it out the window when you're in there and just fight the guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes there are fighters that they really don't. Of course, they know the name of the opponent, but prefer not to watch his fights, and they leave this part to the team.
Mhm.
And sometimes the fighters are like to watch everything.
Yeah, I think like if you trust your coaches heaps and they just tell you what you have to do, like it works for some people. But like me, I like to visualize, I like to see them. I like to think of every possibility, win or lose. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how I am, like obsessive over the guy. So like Odin, I'll think of every outcome, I'll beat him. every outcome he beats me, and every outcome will be a tough fight. Like I'll think so much about it throughout these like weeks leading up to the fight, which is why like I'm so tired after the fight and just want to have like a rest because I get too obsessed over my opponents. But yeah, I need to like look at them. Yeah, my phone just went a bit low battery.
Okay, I have a one last question. When you have a few hours to the fight and you know that you will be fighting against another really tough opponent, a skilled MMA fighter, do you feel any additional stress because of that? Because you know that you can be hurt, you can be injured, you can lose the fight. Do you like think about it and you are stressed about it, or do you have a like chance to mute it out, to mute your mind out, and you are doing something else, like listen to music or like to talk to someone close to you?
I kind of just I get really like dark leading up to my fight, like how I prepare. Like I prepare like it's gonna be like an absolute war, like the fight, and then on the day, I I I, I focus on the worst outcome and I accept that outcome, and then I just go out there and I fight the guy, and that's what like really makes me switch on. Like once I've been able to accept the worst possibility this fight can give me, then because I've accepted, I can do whatever I want now. It's kind of weird, but that's how I like do it. So, but I mean, with Odin, man, this fight, like, it has to be a war. Like, I just don't see it not being a war. So, leading up to this fight and on the night, I'm just going to be thinking this is going to be an absolute war. If he doesn't bring the fight, then I'm going to finish him. If I don't bring the fight, then he'll try finish me. So, it just has to be a war. Do you know what I mean? We both have to clash in the middle. And that's what I'll be thinking, and that's what I'll be expecting for this fight, and that's what he should expect. So yeah, that's probably my final message for Odin. I've been talking about Odin too much.
Yes, but it's a very good like advertiser for this fight, that it will be a lot of action and it will be a finish.
Yeah, it has to be. That's why Eternal made this fight, I think. I had some other guys I called out, but they wanted this fight, so they got it now, I guess. We'll see what happens.
Okay, Joseph, so many thanks for the conversation. I
Yeah.
hope that you will win this fight, and next year you will fight for the Eternal MMA flyweight title.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.